Alright, so I know I said episode 10 was the best episode yet, but episode 11, just as good, if not better. What's up, y'all? It's your man, That Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so go click that button. I'd appreciate it. Park Ilpyo comes back in his fight against Jin, but basically his own version of the Nine-Tailed Fox, and he starts basically getting the upper hand over Jin. He's winning the fight, he's beating Jin up, and that forces Jin to unlock his own higher power or new transformation, whatever you want to call it. And Jin basically gets his own version of the Buddha's palm, smacks down Ilpyo, and wins the fight that way. It was a really good fight from beginning to end. I enjoyed this fight the most out of all of the fights in the God of High School so far. But I do have a bit of a complaint about the way this fight ended. I get, since Ilpyo had a new transformation and everything, it was pretty much a guarantee that Jin was gonna have to unlock some new power or new transformation or whatever it was gonna be. But that kind of made the ending of the fight predictable. Like, I knew going into it, once Ilpyo unlocked his new form, that Jin was gonna have to unlock some new power in it so he could win. Instead of maybe relying on the skills he already had and coming up with like a specific strategy to combat Ilpyo's new form, no, Jin was gonna unlock a new power, and that's the way he was gonna win, which is typical of shonen type anime. That doesn't make the fight bad. Like I said, it was still a dope ass fight. I still enjoyed it. It's just that was a little predictable. I kind of would have liked that more if Jin had maybe lost that fight, and then that gave him a little more motivation on unlocking new powers or training in different kind of styles, or just something. Him losing the fight would have been, I think, better motivation for his character going forward. But that's not what happened, and again, it was still a dope ass fight. I don't have a lot of complaints about it, but I just do have that one small complaint of I wish the fight had been a little less predictable towards the end. I do love what the show is doing with Park Ilpyo. I love the way that he got his own transformation, and he seems to be just as important to Park Nugent and Nox as Jin is. So he seems to have some of the same latent potential that Jin does, and has some of the same qualities that makes Jin as powerful as Jin is. And so I think going forward, that's going to keep Ilpyo as a relatively important rival for Jin going forward. I think it would have been a more important rival if he had beaten Jin, like I said before, but that didn't happen. But he still is powerful in his own right. He's still getting his own new transformation, his own new abilities. So that's going to keep him relevant in the show going forward, because a lot of times these shows have problems with like power scaling, and so once the main character beats someone, that person for the most part becomes irrelevant to the show going forward because they stop gaining power. At least it's cool to know that Ilpyo is going to keep getting more powerful. At least right now it seems that he's going to keep getting more powerful, and that he does have some more latent abilities that Jin also has, which will keep him important going forward in the show. As cool as Jin's win over Ilpyo was, the absolute high point of this episode was Jago versus the Demon Dude, with Ilpyo eventually joining in. The Demon Dude starts trying to absorb people and even tries to absorb Ilpyo's friends. And in an effort to take out the Demon Dude, Jago sees an opening and goes for the kill. But this is where shit gets crazy. When he takes out the Demon Dude, he also takes the arm and leg of Ilpyo's friend. And we know that Ilpyo and Jago have past beef. Those dudes already don't like each other. And so when Ilpyo sees that his friends are missing an arm and a leg, he has flashbacks to what Jago did to his friend in the past, where he crushed her leg. And that just sends Ilpyo into a blind rage. We already know what was going to happen. The last thing we see from that scene is Ilpyo taking Jago by the face and basically slamming him out of a window, and they're going down to the ground, which basically says in the next episode those two are going to have a showdown. And I really can't wait for next episode just because of that. I really can't wait to see Jago versus Ilpyo, and you can see the culmination of all their hatred between each other. And I think that's going to be a bomb ass fight. We don't yet know what possessed that dude and made him go after Jago. Well, we know the dude already hated Jago, so we get why the guy might have some hatred towards Jago, but we don't know exactly what possessed the dude and gave him all that new power. And so if people can be possessed now and basically turn into monsters, that adds a whole new dimension to the show. And then I'm not sure where the show is going to go with this, or what role is going to play in the story, but it's definitely an intriguing development now that people can be turned into these demons or monsters or whatever that guy was, and basically become a lot more powerful. So are weaker characters now maybe going to like do that intentionally going forward? We don't know yet, but it is an intriguing development for the show. I look forward to seeing how that's going to play into the story. Oh yeah, and the tournament's canceled now, I guess, with Nox coming in and trying to throw everything off, and Jago and Ilpyo basically going at it, and Just everything going on surrounding the tournament with all the different interests going on, all the different like powers and everything coming out. Mugen had really no choice but to cancel the tournament. What else is he gonna do? Like, he has to somewhat protect the participants of the tournament, and then he also has to protect his interest against Nox and all this other stuff. The tournament basically had to be canceled, which kind of sucks. Would like to see, you know, Jin, Han, and Yu win the tournament, but they were gonna have to show off against Jego in the final round, and Ilpyo and Jego are gonna fight in the next episode. So I don't think Jego's going to be around after the next episode. I think Ilpyo is going to win that fight, and I think Ilpyo is going to kill him. At least I hope that's what happens, because I think that'll make for a great fight. The God of High School just continues to impress. Like, even when I see one episode and I think, cool, man, this episode is great. The fights are cool. It's going to be hard to top this. And then the next episode tops it, like the very next episode. So I have been immensely impressed with this show, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen from here on out. I am super hyped up to see the fight between Jego and Ilpyo. That's going to be a dope-ass fight. I'll be surprised. I'm going to be heartbroken if that fight doesn't live up to my expectations. Just based on what we've seen so far from Jego and from Ilpyo, that fight should be amazing. That's all I have for you guys in this one. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments. And if you're so inclined, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.